welcome in to be our guest. And we have one of Montgomery's favorite people. We have Sherri Myers, who owns the Montgomery Biscuits and has changed the lives of so many of us in this town, and you've made it all better, lady.
Well, that's nice of you to say. I'm not sure it's the case. The staff and the city's vision, I think, have made the difference.
It's actually always a team, but it starts at the top. So we want to talk today a little bit about some of the things that are happening with the Biscuits baseball team downtown, and some of the high points and some of the things that you're working on. So how about talking to us about that?
Well, first, you guys have gotten some nice awards for the stadium, for the team, for the merchandise you sell. Just a quick for our audience so they know that you're not just going to a plain old baseball field. You're going to a well-respected stadium.
No, and I think that's a really good point, Jack. There's some people in the community that don't really understand how rare it is to have this kind of an entity. It's a AA level team, which means as these guys are recruited to go up to Major League Baseball, they have different tiers, just like we all had. You went to elementary school, then you went to middle school, that same kind of thing.
Junior varsity.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And there's only 30 cities in the United States that have AA teams, so that in itself is kind of special, and sometimes I'm not sure we realize that. Now, can they always win? Absolutely not. I mean, this is truly Bull Durham, but it's also something that we weren't as good in, middle school as we were in high school, right?
That's
so they need this experience, and it really helps when the communities come out and support them and use them as role models too, because in the sporting industry, they do understand they have an obligation to show good sportsmanship.
But I think another thing, Jack, is you get to see future baseball stars, the stars that you would probably never have the opportunity to see otherwise.
Well, and for me, it's a little bit like leadership. You talked about inspiration. If you have children, I think to bring them there and say, look, this kid, read about him here. He really tried hard. He worked hard, and now he's already at this level. We all need those kind of benchmarks and aspirations, and I think that's, there's fewer of those today. So we've also been fortunate in not only just about the concept, but we were named the best minor league team in the country out of 160 teams because of voting. But really that happened because of this community to vote. And we have won several. We won AA Team of the Year, which is 5 years in the making. So we're proud of that, but I got to tell you, it is the staff, and if we can continue to get the community to want to understand the uniqueness and appreciate it, it's a good package.
And it's a very family-friendly environment. It's like a family. It's like having a family reunion every time you go there.
I will never forget. So the first stadium I was involved in building with, as you all know, was in Lansing, Michigan. Still owned part of that to the Lugnuts, the Lansing Lugnuts. That should have been our first clue. Our name was going to be different here, right? And so in Lansing, I just thought of it as a business startup. I didn't really think of it as something that was indeed assisting in changing the dynamics into the face of the community and economic development. And a woman came up to me and she said, "Thank you so much for bringing this team to town." And she was, turns out she was a young single mother, and she said, "I can now go and do an activity with my child and feel my son and feel like we can talk instead of him just playing video games all the time."
That's the difference in going to the baseball games, and instead of going to watch your child in Little League. I spent years doing all of that, but families go together, they sit together, they talk together, they bond together. You have an opportunity to actually be with your family instead of one scattered here, one there.
And within the gates, some can run off to Big Mo's dugout. Some can go buy their own hot dog. I mean, you can be, but then you come back during the event, and you also are in the car talking about what you did during. It's just a different setting, a different time, a different pace. And I think, I don't know, in my life today, that's hard to do.
Jack, what I love is, because I go a lot of times, I'll go by myself, and I'm telling you, that is so clean, Sherri, and so safe. The minute I even see the stadium, I just feel totally secure. You go in, it just feels good. It's America.
Well, and I think downtown has certainly improved in that area too, but there is something always nice about inside the gate.
It is just
But
wonderful.
Even though when you're outside, the first thing you see as you approach is you see multiple amounts of police officers.
That's right.
That they're directing traffic, but they're also there for your safety. And they're trying to get you, parking. Now, parking has become a problem downtown because the good news and bad news is, the good news is Montgomery is blossoming as
That's
a
right.
downtown. You know, the bad news, well, when people come, they got to park a car somewhere.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, especially for your viewers, because we're very conscious of it. And 4th of July, if you were downtown 4th of July last year, you'd know it's a subject. The city, I believe, is really aware of it and working on ways in which to coordinate the events so not all of the special events happen on all of the same days.
Right.
And that's why we've had parking. So technically there's ample enough parking downtown unless we overuse the activity. So they are working on it. I don't know that it'll be resolved tomorrow, but they have, as you said, they make sure they always have the right patrolled officers. They own the facility. A part of the lease facility is they actually have officers that go in and out and through the stadium every game too, which I think is fantastic vision on their part. But we are looking for specific ways in which seniors can have some special privileged parking rights too.
That'd be wonderful.
We'll let you know as soon as we get those resolved. And you know what? I would encourage, if your viewers are, have a specific idea or thought, please let us know directly.
Right.
We want to know. We'll really react to feedback.
But you have great access to that huge garage directly across from the park.
Right.
So that's
and
wonderful.
again, we can look at priority. But have you heard? Have you heard about the Max, the all-new Max fireworks?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Have you got to see it yet?
I have not got to see
Oh,
it. But
Jack.
It's
like you. It's
Is
like
it new this year
you're right
different from
there.
last year?
Yes.
Because last year was outstanding.
The Max fireworks have always been great, but now they are shot off from a different spot and they're a close-up front row seat and personal.
Yeah.
It's
Right
really
in
different.
the
And
middle.
every Friday,
It's great.
every Friday now has Max fireworks. It's an all-new show.
Good. Well, we're going to get you to come back again near the end of the month because we want to talk about something very exciting. If you want to see All Stars, this is the place to come. And we'll be right back right after this.